Today is April 28th, and on this day in 1945, a man who once ruled Italy with fear, fire, and fascism was executed by his own people. His body, beaten, spat on, hung upside down in a public square, wasn't just a corpse. It was a message. Benito Mussolini was no longer Il Duce, he was history. But Mussolini didn't start at the top. He was born in 1883 to a blacksmith father and a schoolteacher mother, named after Benito Juarez, the Mexican revolutionary. He was raised on radicalism. By 1922, Italy was in chaos, unemployment, inflation, riots in the streets, and that's when Mussolini marched in. With 30,000 black shirts and a threat of civil war, Mussolini demanded power. The king, fearing bloodshed, handed it to him. Just like that, a democracy died. He took control of the press, banned all opposition, built a cult of personality so big, even Hitler took notes. He modernized infrastructure, drained swamps, electrified cities. But every achievement came wrapped in violence. He called it the rebirth of Rome. But behind the marble columns and military parades, Italy was being hollowed out. In 1935, Mussolini invaded Ethiopia using poison gas and brutal force. It was condemned worldwide. He didn't care. A year later, he sent troops to support Franco's fascists in the Spanish Civil War. And in 1939, he signed a pact with Adolf Hitler. Two monsters, one ambition. When Hitler invaded Poland, Mussolini hesitated. He wasn't ready. His army was under-equipped. His country already stretched thin. But he joined the war anyway. And that's when everything began to unravel. The Italian army suffered defeat after defeat. By 1943, Sicily was under Allied control. Rome was being bombed. And the people, once cheering, were now starving, frightened, furious. Even Mussolini's own government turned on him. On July 25th, 1943, he was arrested. But Hitler wouldn't let him fall. Two months later, German commandos, led by Otto Skorzeny, launched a daring raid and freed him. Hitler gave him a puppet state, the Italian Social Republic in northern Italy. But Mussolini was no longer a leader. He was a ghost in borrowed power. By April 1945, the Allies were closing in. Hitler was trapped in Berlin. And Mussolini? He was trying to vanish. He dressed as a German officer, tried to escape with his mistress, Clara Petacci. They made it as far as the town of Dongo, near Lake Como, where they were stopped by Italian partisans. No shots fired, no speech given, just two names on a list, and the silence of men who had made up their minds. On the morning of April 28, 1945, they were executed. Mussolini and Clara, shot in the chest, then the head. Dragged through the streets, their bodies dumped in Piazzale Loreto, the same square where a year earlier, Mussolini had displayed the corpses of 15 partisans. Now he was the corpse. The war would end 2 weeks later, but for many Italians, this was the end of an era. A man who ruled through fear, died with none of it left. No army, no followers, just a broken jaw and a rope. On this day in 1945, Benito Mussolini, the founder of fascism, the ally of Hitler, the self-declared savior of Rome, became just another page in history, turned by the hands of those he once ruled.